Hello everyone, Sire here. Thank you so much for joining me for a Craft Roulette submission. It says episode 202 in my little notepad there, but actually it's episode 203. I missed 202 because I was busy. So in this submission, we need to create a flip fold card. The colors need to be Main Street. It has to include the element of walking and heart. So what I'm going to be doing is a space themed card. And this is my first time doing a flip fold, and it looks rather fun to make. So I went and decided to create this space themed card with a moonwalking astronaut. So I'm working with some Copic or alcohol marker friendly paper, and I've trimmed it down to 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And I'm going to be making my scene, the first one, with this alien and the planet. I'm going to remove the eyeball because it's facing in the wrong direction, and you'll see what I mean. I will draw the eyeball back in with a fine line pen, but I just want to make sure it's facing the right direction. As I was stamping the alien, I had realized that it's actually holding a heart in its hand, which is perfect because that resolves the last parameter, which was heart. I was going to draw it myself, but that's actually pretty cool that happened. And I don't need to worry about any masking in this case because the alien's legs are actually stick legs, like little chicken legs almost. So the planet's not going to interfere with that, which makes it much easier to do the layering. However, because this planet is only half a planet, I need to use the stamp set, which is a Hefty Doodle stamp, and finish off the planet with the little craters. I'm just going to put a few here and there just to kind of fill it in, matching the image on the top. The two stamp sets that I am using, the first is Hefty Doodle's Alien one, which I'm using now, and then the other is a Brutus Monroe. I believe it was probably one of his inspiration box kits, but I'm not sure exactly. It was a gift given to me, and I finally get a chance to play with this stamp set, and I'm excited. There's so many elements to this stamp set. It's a lot of fun. So here's that fine line pen that I was talking about. So I added some dots in there to match, and I'm going to use it now to draw in the eyeball. The eyeball was actually facing upwards when I was first stamping it, and so that's why I didn't want to add it. And this time I'm just going to have it aiming downwards. And the reason for that is because on my other sheet, which I'm going to stamp now, I'm going to have my astronaut facing downwards. So I didn't want the alien looking in the wrong direction. It wouldn't make any much sense. The sentiment I decided to add to this is "You are out of this world," which is quite perfectly fitting for this one. And that's my moonwalking astronaut, which actually is not walking because you'll see soon that he's actually floating in space. So the alien is now the moonwalking element in this card. But either way, I'm really having fun with this card. This is the first time that I've actually created this flip style card, but also creating these big scenes on such white paper. Normally, I can't handle it if it's too much weight, and I will be honest and say that it is hard to accept that there's so much weight on this card. I was so tempted to trimming and fussy cutting everything out, but I didn't want to ruin it. I was very happy with how this card was turning out, so I just kept it simple. For the planet, I am going to be using neon lights of the city. So the color is supposed to be main colors, and so I'm doing a bunch of different elements of a city, or sorry, Main Street. And in this case, I'm doing neon lights, and that's why I decided to do pink and the yellow planet. Why is it pink and yellow planet? I thought that would be a lot of fun to just do. I like playing with colors. I like trying to force them to melt together and just create these fun styles. And I really like these Olo marker colors when it comes to the yellows and the pinks. They melt together really eye-pleasingly well for me. So it doesn't really have anything to do. I'm kind of making it look like the shadow is pink and then the rest of it is yellow. I will play around with it more. I really like this combination, and just to practice more, I would have liked to have more of the planet pink. But, you know, I'm trying to learn how to do that with shading and shadowing, and it's still a skill that I need to work on. But I'm very happy with my colorful planet, moon, whatever this rock is. And so for the alien, I'm doing green, which can be found in all main streets like trees and grass and moss and weeds. So no problems there. And I'm just trying to stick to a few colors. I don't want to introduce too many because I still have to do the astronaut. And so I will be working with grays, and I will play with warm and cool grays. For this alien, because I did the green skin and I didn't want him to have the cool colors, I decided to go with warm grays. It just felt like it would match better than the cool grays with the green. And I really like how this turned out. It's like almost like this antique-y steampunk type coloring. I really like it. And it's turned out nice. And his little heart he's holding in his hand just really stands out. I was also thinking about putting black around the whole background to show its space, but I really think because of the stick legs, and it just would have got lost, the whole image, and it would have been worse. For the helmet, I actually used a BV blue, or a BV 2.2, and I went over the whole thing. I wanted to kind of give it the effect that it is a glass over top, so I didn't want that green to be too bright in comparison. So I could have done probably another coat if I wanted to, but I was pretty happy with that. Now for the astronaut, I'm still learning how to, oh, there's my nose. Oh my goodness. I was honestly trying to get right in there to color this element. To be honest, I'm a little disappointed with how this astronaut's face kind of got colored in. It just got blotchy on me. And no matter what I did, I wasn't doing it right. And so I just decided to call it and just accept that sometimes it doesn't always work out, but it's always a learning experience and you're always growing with each time you do it. You just have to keep practicing, and so I'm okay with this. Overall, I'm very happy with how this astronaut turned out. And I did decide to go with the cool grays for the astronaut because I feel that the cool grays and the white really make it look crisp white. I like how that turned out. One thing I probably would have tried if I to color this again is just add maybe a little bit darker right around the shadows, just so that it really prominence the shadow of the white. To tie in the pink from the first panel, I'm just going to color the rings on the astronaut with pink instead of red. I'd normally do red. And then I'm just going to use the darker grays to kind of accent the little knobs and bulges and patches on the astronaut. For the flag, I will use a light green, kind of tying in with the alien head, because I want to tie in all these colors together and make it so that it's all working as one image. And there we go. So that's the coloring. I'm going to do a little bit more coloring, but I'm going to cut it out of the video just to make sure that the video is not too long. But out of my stash, I had this beautiful galaxy colored cardstock. I have one sheet, and this is what makes me angry. You'll see I need to fold this at 2 1/8, and I went in 2 1/4. Keeping in mind, I only have one sheet of this, so making a mistake like that, I'm done. I can't make another card. So I'm kind of panicking when I go to fold it right now, and I realize, oh shoot, that's not right. I'm off. So I go back and I realize my mistake, and I go and re-score it. Luckily, the score lines are so close together that when I'm done with this and I put my pieces together, you can't even tell. I will do a little check once I finish folding it to make sure. Right there, see? Well, that was way too fast for you to see, but it was actually not noticeable at all. The cardstock actually is about 100 something pounds. So the fact that it was that thick and you folded it, it kind of melted in with that slight difference. You didn't barely notice it. Now to bring in some color, because there's so much white, and like I mentioned, it is kind of bothering me, there's so much white, I'm going to bring in some Concord and Knife cardstock. I believe this is honeysuckle. And I'm going to use that as a matte layer. And it looks very similar to the pink on the alien planet and the astronaut. I'm going to trim this down to 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And then I'm going to take my panels and cut them down another 1/4 of an inch. So that means they're going to be 3.5 by 4 3/4, I believe. I'm trying to do the math in my head. That sounds about right, but I'm just taking another 1/4 off. Now to fill in this gap, there are so many stamp elements on this stamp set. I'm just plugging and playing and adding a little bit just to fill in the scene here. So while I'm doing this, I'll just talk about what Craft Roulette is. If you're not familiar with Craft Roulette, it is a fantastic game show that happens almost every Friday. And what happens is the host, Mary, will spin the wheel with the guest and it will pick 4 parameters. That is the project, the color, the element, and random. So she will spin the wheel and it will randomly pick one of these items. And that's what I was describing at the beginning of the video. You then have until Sunday, unless you're a Patreon, and then you have until Thursday to create a card and submit it. All cards that are submitted during the week do have a chance of winning a prize from their sponsors at the next show. It's a lot of fun. A lot of people are having a great time doing this, and I highly recommend giving it a try. Check out their Facebook group or their craftroulette.live website. I'll put all the information in the description box below. I know I talk really fast in these videos, so don't worry if you miss it. I will put it in the description box below. And if I don't, rate me a comment and say, hey, what's up? Why didn't you do it? I won't know what you're talking about, but if you give me a little more details, then I will. So here we go. At the final leg, we're going to put this card all together. I'm going to place my card right in the center of that panel or that section of the card. To lay the next one down, I'm going to flip it over and just take a pencil so I know where to glue. And I'll just put a little line on the top and the bottom. And then I will glue no further than that line. And then I'll draw a little heart of glue because it's important. And then when I put it down, I'm going to put my hand on the right side to line it up perfectly, lay it down, flip the card over, and then press and seal. The reason I do that is in case the glue seeps out, I can wipe it off before it touches the panel on the other side. So there we go. This is our flip fold card in its space. It is hard for me to accept all that white, but I think the card turned out fantastic in the end. I do hope you enjoyed this. I hope it was bringing some inspiration to you, and I hope that you can have fun creating some flip fold cards too. So until the next time, have a fantastic, wonderful week, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye.